everyone, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Bhavin and I'm a graduate of UBC Science and I'll be pursuing a master's very soon. Today I'll be talking all about personal finance and how you can set yourself up for basically the rest of your life if you just do a couple of simple things and you just do them over a long period of time. And this will be practical advice for like real people, especially younger people and people who are still progressing in their careers. So if that sounds interesting to you, please hit the like button. I know it's cliche, but it really does help. And yeah, let's get on with the video. So the first tip I have, and the first thing you should do if you're interested in becoming financially free one day, is first creating a budget. Most people don't even do this. And this is very, very simple. It's just a simple Excel spreadsheet, or it could be a piece of paper or something that just shows your income. So any sources of income that you have that are coming in. This could be your job, your side hustle, any stocks, dividends, anything, any businesses, any YouTube channel, whatever you do to make money on this side. Flipping couches, marketplace, Craigslist, whatever you're doing here. Other side will be your expenses. So anything that you're spending money on, your rent, your food, your bills, all of that sort of stuff. Transportation goes in the expenses. So simple. Money comes in, money goes out. Just lay it all out on a simple spreadsheet and just see what you're spending your money on. That's a great first step because you'll be able to see things that you didn't even know, subscriptions that you didn't even have, all that sort of stuff. And you'll be able to see, okay, what can I cut down on? Or, okay, how much money am I spending on Starbucks or just eating out or whatever I'm doing? And then you can see, okay, I'm going to budget this amount for this category, this amount for my fun category, this amount for investing in myself. So like the tutoring, education, books, whatever. And this amount for like housing, this amount for that. And you're basically going to be able to kind of create that. Next up, you're going to want to save a lot of money and save as much as you can, honestly, when you're younger, because you can get away with living frugally, living at home, living with roommates, taking public transit. All that sort of stuff is very easy to do and kind of expected to do when you're young. And you're in your like late teens, 20s, and it becomes a little bit harder to live with roommates or all that sort of stuff when you're like a lot older. So take advantage of this. And next up, let's talk about college and choosing majors or whatever you want to do professionally. So keep in mind, you don't always have to go to university, get a degree, do well in school to be successful nowadays. There's basically a million ways to reach a professional stage in your career and to provide value to the marketplace. You can learn skills just online. You can take coding boot camps and become like a software engineer just by watching YouTube videos, doing leak code and getting a portfolio done. You can go to like a community college first, which is what I would honestly recommend if you're stretched for finances. You could learn a trade. There's a huge demand for people working to build houses or to do electrician work or plumbing or any sort of trade hard skill. Huge demand, and there will always be work for those people. Like welding is another good one. Anything in healthcare where you're doing a very specific skill or task will always be in demand. I was talking to my friend today. He's going into radiation therapy, very in demand field. So do stuff like that. Nursing, always in demand. Engineering, accountants, always learn a skill is basically what I'm trying to get at. So that's a next step. And if you're having to take out student loans in order to do this, what you can do is when you apply for student loans, you can also get like a provincial grant and a federal grant that you don't actually have to pay back. So that makes it quite favorable for you, and those are usually interest-free loans. At least the federal portion is that you can pay back later. The next thing I want you to do is, this is so important, is get a credit card and pay that thing off every single month in full, and basically whenever you make a purchase. And personally, I like TD's credit cards, even though they're not really the best. But in terms of like their student cards, you can't go wrong, because the point is not to be spending tons of money on this, but it's just to run a couple of purchases every month so that you can build your credit. And what a credit is basically a report card for grown-ups. And basically what this is whenever you want to borrow money from the bank, say to buy a house, buy a car, or to start a business, or to do any sort of thing, they are going to check that you are paying your bills on time. And what your credit is basically made up of like how long you've been holding a credit card and all that sort of stuff. And if you're paying your bills off on time, like your credit card every month and all that sort of stuff. And it's just a combination, and all that gets to is a score. So if you have a good credit score, you'll basically be able to borrow money for, let's say you want to invest in real estate property or start a business, or do whatever, at the cheapest rate possible, or get a new car. You'll get the best terms possible with the highest score. And a lot of the credit score comes from just holding the card for a very long time. And make sure you don't ever spend money that you don't actually have on there and that you can't pay back. Treat your credit card like a debit card and just use it to build your credit score when you're young. Because if you do this when you're late 20s, or whenever you start earning significant money and you're able to kind of progress forward, get a house, start a business, whatever, you're going to get the best rates possible, and it will save you thousands of dollars in the long term if you just do this one simple process of opening a credit card, putting a couple purchases on there that you would normally make anyway, paying it off fully each month. Do not pay a single dollar in interest to credit card companies. So that's credit cards. Another thing you can do is, in that income category of your budget, you can try to do things like side hustles. Honestly, when you're young, you should just try to do as many different things as you can and find out what you like and what you're good at and what the marketplace values, and kind of focus on that. So you can try different side hustles or whatever you think you would be interested in, even like lifeguarding or whatever, like tutoring or whatever you kind of enjoy doing. It's always great to build experience. I personally like tutoring and helping students with high school and college subjects, as well as working at a senior's home, as well as on a research project, all that sorts of stuff. And I think it's pretty doable to do alongside your studies, as long as you're managing your time well. But just make sure you're doing the school aspect first. So to highlight and to recap, basically the key points for personal finance are: track your spending, make a budget, and make sure you're studying or working towards something that's very valuable to the marketplace, or to like something that's skills based, basically. You can live as frugally as you can, honestly. Like, it's honestly better to just live at home if you have that option, or with roommates when you're younger, because you can take advantage on saving on like housing, which is usually people's biggest expense. Look into student loans and financial aid. If you're in high school, honestly, you should be spending all your time applying for scholarships and grants and stuff like that, because your time is not worth that much, especially during the summers and stuff. And you can basically get a lot of money for very relatively low effort, especially if you're trying hard in your academics and stuff like that. And so do that. Get a credit card and be responsible with it. Pay it off each month fully, not a single dollar in interest. You can get part-time jobs, whatever you're interested in. Try your side hustles and all that sort of stuff. So I hope that is helpful. Please leave a like, comment some of your favorite money-saving tips or hacks, and please subscribe, as it helps out the channel a lot. And please take care. I'll be making a video on how to do investing and stuff like that for beginners very soon. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when that comes out. That's all for now. Take care and best wishes.